There we are, beautiful. Right, we're in Rosebank with Mr. Zak Calisto. Once again, last time I met this gentleman last year, wonderful gentleman. You can see his big smile. And he's really smiling today because the results came out this morning. He gave his results for the year ended 28th of February 2018. And we're in this beautiful office in Rosebank, yeah? And this is a man who I really have huge respect for what he's done with this company. And I'm going to show you, we're going to go through a couple of things here. Zak, you know, you gave your end of year February 2018 results this morning. Everything is up. I'm just going to read a couple of things here. Robust subscriber growth of 25%. That robust. You had just over 610,000 last year. I think you're now on 751,000 subscribers. It's now, that revenue is now 88% of your total revenue from your subscription revenue. That, which is up 19%. I mean, everywhere I read you, total revenue up 16%. EBITDA, which we won't go into because that's a huge chunk for me. I'm just a truck journalist. But basically, it's earnings before income, taxation, depreciation, and amortization. I think I got it right. But that's up to 25. Everything is up. Zak, you're operating in 24 countries, and everything is up. What are you doing that is just so right?
Well, I'm not certain that everything is just so right to start off with, but we're just doing what we've done for the last 10 years, and we just continue growing our distribution and growing what we're doing. You know, 3-4 years ago when we listed, we had just over 1,000 employees. Now we've got over 2,000 employees, and it just takes a lot of resources, a lot of talent, and we continue to grow our infrastructure, our technology, and our ability to deliver a good service.
You know, I'm going to ask you a question. I remember one vehicle tracking company. See, I nearly forget this thing. I told you this was in SABC. And I don't know how to sub this out, by the way. I'm going to ask you a question. One vehicle tracking company many years ago got a big contract, like 22,000 trucks in Telkom or one of them. And I phoned the MD to congratulate him. And he said, Pat, I now know how easy it is to grow your way into bankruptcy. He said, because I have to get the installers, we have to get the people to monitor it, we have to get the backup. With your growth, how does that look? Have you got the people to man the growth? Because you operate in 24 countries, you're operating very well in all those countries. I see Asia Pacific has grown substantially. Have you got the manpower to man the growth?
Well, the reality is you always have to grow your ability to deliver. And we continuously employing, grooming, talent to be able to deliver. And quite frankly, we're always understaffed, and we always got a shortage of talent at all levels, from whether it's on technical, on IT, on financial. We're always continuously looking for talent. We always believe there's more demand than we can deliver, more demand than we can actually service that demand. So we're always a bit behind the curve.
You say you're a bit behind the curve now on servicing that growth.
Yeah, servicing the growth. So we did quite well in the last 12 months, specific in the last 6 months, where we really increased our headcount, and we've got colleges where we train people, and the benefit of that has been, we're getting more and more resources and better resources over time.
Okay, Zak, on the South African base, I see that's still a huge percentage of your revenue income, and it's still a very important market. That's your home base almost. From there, you've expanded. You're in America now, Asia Pacific, Africa. I see Africa is resilient. I chuckled a bit when I saw that. That's a sort of thesaurus word for steady, isn't it? Not much growth with the economic condition. But how's Africa doing for you? Then we'll come back to the other regions.
Well, Africa for us is strategic, even to service South Africa. We've got a lot of cross-border activity. Fleet owners are taking their vehicles and delivering products into neighboring countries. We've got to service those clients. We've got a lot of stolen vehicles going over the border, not only leaving South Africa to go to neighboring countries, but also vehicles being stolen in neighboring countries coming to South Africa. And we've got to service that. So it's a strategic investment, and it's also highly profitable and part of the market. So we need it. It's a very important part of the market for it to be successful. We haven't seen much growth in Africa in the last 3 years. It's been rather stagnant, But we hopefully in the next 12 months in FY19, we're going to see much better results coming out of Africa.
Okay. Of course, South Africa, we've seen, I'm noticing a huge increase in hijacking. And overseas fleet management is, I would take it, more important. Like in America, ELDs now is the buzzword. But yeah, it's still stolen vehicle recovery, still a huge part. And you've got a very good track record on this. Talking particularly the truck industry here. How's that going, Zak? Have you noticed an increase in that over the past year?
Undoubtedly, the crime is on the increase, especially vehicle theft and hijacking. Unfortunately so. Yeah, that's the facts. That's obviously, I'm saying this based on our statistics. I'm not quite sure what the national statistics are.
Yeah. And Zak, that is where the manpower on the ground comes in as well, because I've been with the stolen vehicle recovery boys and the helicopters, all that. It's like a whole fire force in the army. Are there enough guys around there to cater for the increased hijacking? Because you are the only company, the first and only company to offer I think it's 150,000 Rand on any vehicle or market value that you don't recover. So you put your money where your mouth is in terms of recovery. You've got a great recovery success story, good record. Have you got enough of those type of people? Because those are certainly special type of people.
Look, getting people is always easy. It's getting the right people that's always the most difficult thing. But our people, we've had them for many years. They're good people. They're well experienced. And we audit our recovery rate, and we're very happy with our staff that do the operations. They're experienced. They come from very good training, and they get trained continuously. So, and they've been delivering exceptionally good services. And so on the back of that we've been able to offer a warranty. If we not had a great recovery rate, we wouldn't be able to offer these warranties.
And let's move on to the United States of America. That was one of the last markets you entered, if I'm correct. And the big buzzword there is electronic logging devices. Become law. It's causing huge. It's gone up to Senate. I think even Trump has got involved. He probably did one tweet on it. But that is the big thing. Are you going to enter that space? Have you got product to enter that space based on hours of service and all that?
Well, the reality is, the legislation in itself is quite complex, and there's a lot of misunderstanding how ELD should be working. So even ourselves, we've been struggling in terms of developing the right product, fully understanding the legislation. We've now delivered the product, and we've also delivered the technology to be able to deliver, and it's now gone in for type approval. So we believe that very soon we'll be able to play a very active part in now doing sales. It's taken us much longer than we anticipated, and quite frankly, we're not exactly there yet. We believe we can see the light at the end of the tunnel to be able to deliver the right product for the ELD, but we're not there yet. It's only once we getting it real working in the market, we've got 10, 20, 30,000 subscribers, and we can say we're there. We're players in the game. At this point in time, we haven't quite achieved what we set out to achieve.
But Zak, but America is a very, you're confident of a good growth market. Telematics is very big in America. They've also got interested in, after us, they got the security risks of fleet management after terrorism attacks, and then trucks are used. And that's where, we were doing that for a long time, sort of the security aspect of fleet management. They started with fleet management as a management tool. It's a potentially big market for Cartrack?
We believe it is, but we see the whole world as a potentially big market. So we don't have to have a massive market in America. We need to be in America, so I think America is a good place to be in terms of technology, in terms of the quality of the people that you can get in America coming out of the tech schools. So it's a very important part of the bigger picture. And we all set out to have a good business in America. We don't have to be the biggest and the greatest in America. That's not what we set out to be. We want to take whatever value we get from Europe or from Asia or from South Africa, and we cross-pollinate all that value to be a top company, as opposed to be a top company in one specific market. We've got a long-term vision to just be a top company, and currently we probably are the fastest growing company in the world in the telematics space. I don't know of any other company that's adding 150,000 subscribers in a year, net subscribers. So, and we're doing this because we're taking what we learn in America, what we learn in Asia, what we learn in Europe, what we learn in different African markets, and that all knowledge put together allows us to compete with our other competitors.
Well, I tell you what, you are the fastest growing. I can see the growth of Cartrack over the years has been quite amazing, and I want to compliment you and congratulate you, because it's not an easy task. I remember some companies that came to see me and I said, please get out of this. There's no quick return on investment in this arena. There's a lot of R&D, and it's going to take a lot of time for return. Some of them didn't believe me, and those that didn't believe me are no longer around anymore. There's a handful that have come out well, and you have really driven a great company. And now I just want to ask last question. Have we taken South African technology to the rest of the world? Or are we bringing technology from there back to here? Are we a leader in the world? South Africa?
Well, I think telematics is such a broad spectrum of offerings. So there's aspects of it in the security part of it. We're definitely leaders in the world. I believe South African companies, we're really leaders in the security. On the data management, on all the different applications that they are, for instance, like ELD or technologies that exist, for instance, in Thailand, technologies that exist in Europe. They are technologies that we're not really using in South Africa. But once the South African government also, over time, makes it mandatory, then we'll get all those values coming through for safety. You know, South Africa, we're not doing much in the safety space. There's a lot to be done, but we need government support to make our roads safer. And for instance, Europe is a big driver of safety. Europe's a big driver. Some of the Asian countries are real big drivers in safety. America is not really driving safety, and that's where ELD comes from. There's different forms of ELD in, for instance, Thailand, in Singapore, in Europe, but they do it in different ways. So every country's got its own way, and I see that also unifying over time, that there'll be one spec to enhance safety. South Africa will eventually also implement it. And that will be a new vertical that we then can import what we've learned overseas into the South African market.
That comes as the most amazingly good news, and I'm going to finish off now, Zak, because road safety, in my opinion, has been totally ignored by the government, by the people. We failed in road safety. And if you can focus the attention on road safety, wow, that is a great news for South African roads and for South African road users.
I think we should push it. It's up to Patrick, you need to go push it with the government for road safety.
For sure. We always are. We just got to get him to listen.
Cheers, Patrick.
Right, that was Mr. Zak Calisto. And Zak, look at that big smile, man. He's a wonderful man. And thanks so much for taking South Africa as a top-class company to the rest of the world. God bless you.
Thanks, Patrick.